What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Thursday, Grizz Nation. I am your apparently temporary co-host, though I've coasted it several times lately, of the Daily Grind, Rusty Buckets. I got my guy, Drew Gann of the Two Bucks Sports Show. I'm also on that show with me this morning. How are you, sir, this morning?
You didn't do your vocal exercises to get ready this morning, did you?
Yeah,
It is early.
out, man.
it is early for Rusty's voice as well.
Still stretching them out.
I tell you what, it was nice. You know, with the Grizzlies not playing last night, everybody got to go to bed early and get some rest. And I kind of feel refreshed today.
Yeah, I mean,
they were off last night, right?
They were. I nestled down in bed about 9:15, 9:20 and got a good night's sleep and woke up this morning to the news that the Memphis Grizzlies did, in fact, play last night. Drew, I had a pun about roofs queued up for you this morning, but I'm afraid it would go over your head. So we're going to leave that alone. And the Memphis Grizzlies, we got the wrong banner still up, lost last night, 128-114 at the LA Clippers. It was a 9:30 local tip, so most everybody with some sense saw the injury report come out yesterday. No Ja Morant, no Vince Williams Jr., no energy for this team, and it felt like a scheduled loss heading into the All-Star break. Any thoughts about the Grizzlies game last night?
I mean, if you didn't have your expectations shifted slightly, knowing that we were going into the All-Star game, knowing there was no Ja or Vince, and Vince has been our character guy, which is shameful to say considering he's played like 5 games this year, but he's been our high character guy. And, it was just not going to happen last night at all. And then in the first quarter, they started off, they didn't make a shot till the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter. And then they kind of got on a run to take the lead and even go up by, I think, at the
end of the first, it was 39-28 Grizzlies. It started off ugly, but the first quarter finished really well. I at least saw that.
No, I think that the first half, let me pull that up real quick. I think the first half at halftime, we had a lead, like a 10-point lead.
We did.
No, I'm sorry. We had a 12-point lead at the 11-minute mark of the second quarter, and then we were down at the half by double digits.
3.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
We were down at halftime. It was kind of the start and finish of the first half kind of summed up what the game was going to look like. The Grizzlies had some run early. It took a while to get it going, but Desmond Bane continues to score at a high level when Ja Morant is out. Finished the game last night with 23 points on 47% from the field, 6 of 11 from 3. Jaren is kind of mired in a couple of rough games. Even the best have off nights, and the last 2 games for Jaren have not been his best.
Foul trouble.
Day before yesterday, he had 17. Last night, he got into foul trouble and finished with 13, his 2 lowest scoring outputs of the season. And it's one of those things. I mean, Jaren is probably gassed. I mean, he has been carrying this team for all the season with Ja kind of in and out, Dez in and out. Of the big 3, Jaren's been the most consistent. And so a couple of quiet nights are probably expected heading into the All-Star festivities. It was just an ugly game. Nobody really had their best stuff last night. So Santi had 14. Gigi had 15. He was the only one of 3 Grizzlies with significant time with a positive plus minus. Gigi finished plus 14 last night, but still showing glimmers of boneheaded tomfoolery on the basketball court.
Yeah, he just doesn't know how to play defense.
I mean, that's it, man.
That's basically it. He's long and he's got all the tools to be able to be a good defender one day, but he's just lost as a goose out there right now.
Yeah. Sometimes, he's the best athlete on the floor, and sometimes that's to his detriment, where he tries to do a little too much and tries to out-athlete a little bit, and then overhelps on defense, gets ran by when he's trying to close out. Gigi's clearly got growing left to do. The potential is obvious. It's definitely there in flashes, but Gigi still has a long way to go before he's a significant contributor. We knew that we're going to have trouble with Zubac last night. He finished with 12 and 13 rebounds. As a guy who's had 20 on us before, it's not the worst outcome we could have had. Harden had 18 and 10, but Kawhi Leonard, who has come back from his knee injury and actually playing basketball, I didn't think we'd ever see him play ever again. Finished with 25 points, leading all scorers last night. The Clippers were what we thought they were. They're a tough-nosed, hard-nosed team that's going to play physical and beat you up, and the Grizzlies just didn't have their firepower last night. And Thankfully, I haven't seen as many crash outs as I thought I would see on Twitter this morning. There's a few. Say again.
Everybody went to sleep.
That's it. There was a few people getting frustrated with the loss last night, but it's, we're not going to win every single game. It's an 82-game season. The All-Star game's heading up, is coming up. Clearly, they wanted Ja to have plenty of rest. We've got 8 days off, 9 now for Ja since he didn't play last night. Clearly wanted him to get some rest ahead of the All-Star break, Drew. So with that, that's enough about the Clippers game. It's over. We don't play again until next Thursday, and we travel to Indiana of Desmond Bane's home and play the Pacers. So
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, got a long time to sit and digest this loss and what the first half of the season looks like. But I want to get your take. Next segment we're going to be talking about Vince Williams Jr., but I kind of want to turn it into what are your thoughts on the first half of the season so far? Vince has been a bright spot in the last couple of games, so he didn't play last night. Overall, Drew, how do you see the team looking heading in the All-Star break? We're 36-18. We're in second place in the West, though only a half game up now on the Denver Nuggets, who have been surging as of late. What's your take on the first half of the season? Was it a success or was it thumbs down?
No, it was a great success. I mean, you won twice as many games as you lost. You could get into the minutia of it, but at the end of the day, when the regular season's over, it's going to matter how many games and how many you won and how many games you lost. You've won 2 times as many games as you've lost. That's a smashing success. To make it even more of a smashing success, look at the amount of games Ja's already ineligible for postseason awards because he's missed that many games. Desmond Bane has missed a lot of games. Obviously, Marcus Smart missed so many games you traded him. And Vince Williams Jr. has played in like 5-10 games. G.G. Jackson's played in 2 or 3 more than Vince. I mean, you just look up and down the roster and you just see carnage at different times of the year this year. And despite all that, you are 36-18, 2 times as many wins as losses. You're sitting at second place in the West, and you don't really have to worry if you're going to make or miss the playoffs. There's veteran-laden teams on the bottom half of this conference standings that they are going to have to exert lots of energy just to get there. The Grizzlies, whereas I think that they should continue to exert a lot of energy and take every game seriously and play every game, they don't have to. It's not a necessity. You've put yourself in a situation to where you can really try to aim at going to the playoffs fully healthy, fully rested. And so, I mean, it's a smashing success. When you go through, it's been, what's 36 plus 18, 54 games. And you watch 54 games and you dissect 54 games, you're going to think that this season has had highs and lows, but those lows have been very short gaps of lows.
Yeah, I mean, coming into last night, Grizzlies were 7-3 in our last 10, a game and a half up on the Nuggets, kind of to reset the Western Conference playoff picture. As you said, we're firmly in the playoff picture. We got the Thunder in first place, Grizzlies in second by 8.5 games. The Thunder is a half game behind. The Rockets are a game and a half behind the Nuggets for fourth place. Then you got the Lakers, the Clippers, who beat us last night. The Timberwolves, Mavs, Kings, and Warriors round out the top 10. And those on the edge are the Suns, who are a game behind the Warriors, and the Spurs are 3 games behind the Warriors in 12th place. So you're firmly in the playoff picture. Now, your seeding is definitely in question with the way the Nuggets are winners of 8 in a row. The Rockets had a catastrophic free fall. I mean, again, Grizz fans, we have had rough patches, but nothing like what the Houston Rockets have been going through, who went from second place to fourth place in a matter of about a week, it felt like, because they were
losing streak.
Everybody. They now won 2 in a row. But, Drew, I feel pretty good about these matchups. Even after the loss last night, I still feel of the top 10 teams, there's really only one team that I don't want to face in the playoffs, and that's the Thunder, because they have out-hustled and out-athleted us when we've played them. Other than that, I think we match up really well against the top half of the Western Conference.
Yeah, you're wrong about that. I appreciate the confidence. I do appreciate the confidence.
I think we match up well.
You're just wrong about that.
I don't think so. I think we match up well against all these teams. Yeah, Houston's been more physical than us, but like Denver has no depth.
Yeah, the goal is to be 6 and above. Right now, the 7th seed is 7.5 games below you. So
Mhm.
as long as you say 6 and above, you're good. And as far as matchup goes, like, no, I don't want any part of the Golden State Warriors. They've been amazing since well,
No, they
actually they
lost
lost
last night.
last night.
They lost.
But
They've not been that good.
yeah, again,
They're old, and I don't. Again,
no,
I
I
didn't
don't.
say we're going to win every series. I said we match up well with everybody outside of Oklahoma City.
No, I don't want any part of Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry in the playoffs. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to sign up for that. I don't want any part of Luka and LeBron in a playoff series. I'm not going to sign up for that. I would rather have Denver than either of
Mhm.
those teams. I think I don't. Well, I would take the Rockets, but it's going to be a 7-game coin flip at best.
Mhm.
And the Clippers don't really want any part of them either. Veteran can slow you down. Really good defense. Don't want any part of them. Give me the
We've yet to.
Timberwolves every single day. Give me the Kings every single day. But I do not think as a 2 seed, I'm not confident against all 6 teams beneath us in the standings.
Well, let me tell you why I am. We match up well against the Nuggets. They have no depth. Houston would be an amazing 7-game series for sure. The Lakers, yes, they're scary. They're going to be scary for a long time. They've had our number in the playoffs, but we have yet to play them fully healthy. Same with the Clippers. We've yet to play the Clippers with our full
Luka and
squad.
LeBron. We've played Luka and LeBron many times.
We've yet to play these two
you've
teams
not
this
seen
year with our
success.
full squads. We match up well with the Timberwolves. The Mavericks don't scare me if they don't have AD, and AD doesn't look like he's going to be around. Talking about season-ending surgery, and so again, the Western Conference, that's fine. I mean, if you're scared, say you're scared, but you can't be that way, man.
I'm not scared.
I don't want to play the Lakers first round, sure, but do I want to bow down and back out and not want to play in the play? Absolutely not. To quote Ric Flair, to be the man, you got to beat the man, and I am not afraid of a old LeBron team.
This isn't about fear. I'm not on the team. It doesn't matter if I'm scared. They're not scared. They better not be scared. But that's just reality. We've seen this, Rusty, and I'm not going to be the guy that's like the big pour cold water on a hot fire here.
Mm-hmm.
But you and I have both spent the whole first half of the season saying we struggle against good teams.
Mm-hmm.
We do. And don't say oh, now I'm confident that we're going to beat the Lakers, beat the Warriors, beat the Clippers when they are very veteran savvy, heavy playoff minute teams.
I have to listen back because I'm not real sure I ever said we beat those teams. I'm just saying that we match up well with these teams when fully healthy. Never once did I say we're going to go sweep the Lakers or sweep the Clippers. No. All I'm saying is when fully healthy, we've yet to run through this fully healthy. When fully healthy, we match up well against a lot of these teams. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to win the championship this year. I never said that. I'm giving my take on this is that we match up well athletically when healthy.
All right, I'll put it to you this way. As a 2 seed with home court advantage, we would not be the betting favorite, nor would we deserve to be the betting favorite against the Lakers, Rockets, Clippers, and probably Nuggets.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That's fine.
That's fine. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying we should not be favored, and we will not be favored in those.
And all I'm saying is we match up well, and I think we got a shot. So
I don't think you understand matchups. We have never matched up well with Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Quit saying that it's a good matchup. It's not.
I said we match up well.
You're confident. It's okay with you being confident. Quit saying it's a good matchup.
I never once said it was a good matchup. I said we matched up well.
You said it 1,000 times in this podcast. You've said that 5 or 6 times in the last 10 minutes. What are you talking about?
I said we match up well with some of these teams from a physical standpoint when fully healthy, which we've yet to see because we had John Vince out last night. We've got guys coming back. We've got 8 days for our guys to rest. The only ones that are going to be busy are Jaron, who's been playing amazing this year. We're going to have Jalen and Edie. They're going to be playing this weekend. Everybody else gets some rest and some time off. And that's a good thing, Drew, because I'm not sure if you've looked at our schedule when we come back from the All-Star break and who our first few games are against.
Where it lets off.
I mean, it is for as easy as the first part of our schedule was, the next part of our schedule most certainly is not. When we come back from the All-Star break, we start with the Indiana Pacers, who are 30-23, one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. Then we play the Magic, who, like us, have been bit with the injury bug, but have a ton of talent. They're very athletic. They're probably a shooter away. Right, they're a shooter away from being a really good team, but they are a team that you can't sleep on. Then we get the Cavaliers, the first place team in the Eastern Conference, at at Cleveland, and
All
then
three
we
of
come.
those are on the road.
Then we come back home to play the Suns and the Knicks, and I'll be at that Knicks game on the 28th of the month. So we'll find out real quick if we have figured anything out over the All-Star break. If there was an opportunity for us to get healthy and find out how we match up against some of the better teams, we're going to learn by the end of the month of February as we play 4 playoff teams. And the Magic are borderline, depending on if they could get healthy and find some
They're
shooting.
in right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're in. I would listen. You need the 6-day break. Honestly, nobody probably needs it more than Jaren. But obviously, you've got the massive honor to be able to play in the All-Star game, and so you take that honor and you try to stay off your legs as much as you can through until then. And so, just it sucks. This is the second time already this year that we have welcomed a long break. You know, the first one being the in-season tournament games where we had basically a week off, or say 5 days off at 2 different times during the in-season tournament. And we're like, okay, get healthy, everybody rest, whatever. We're doing that again. Like, okay, everybody rest. Job missed last night's game for a knee thing. Vince missed for a knee thing. How legitimate are those? How much was, rehab kind of thing? So just get through the 6 days. Everybody just let's not go to Cancun. Let's not go to Daytona Beach or Talladega this Sunday. Let's just take it easy. Put your feet up. Get your cardio in every day. Eat your vegetables. Drink your milk, and let's get ready to play next Thursday.
That's it. Get the treatment you need. Work with your athletic trainers. Work with your personal body guys, and get back right. But Drew, we are heading into the All-Star weekend. All-Star games coming up. Fans of the old 2 Buck Sports Show know this segment well, where we used to try and stump Drew with sports trivia, and so
never worked.
Never worked. We'll find out today. So I have got 10 NBA All-Star questions to see what you know about the in-season break for the NBA players. We'll start with a pretty easy one. It's a historical question. I feel like if you know the All-Star, no NBA, you'll know this one. In what year was the first NBA All-Star game, and which team won?
Nobody knows the answer to that. That's the whole point of these. Well, it was before the 80s because Michael Jordan was in them. And so I would say Kareem was probably in some All-Star games. That was the late 60s, early 70s. I'm going to say 1965, the year my mother was born. And I'm going to say the Western Conference won.
So close. 1951, the Eastern Conference won 111-94. It was played at the Old Boston Gardens in Boston. All right, question number 2. Who is the all-time leading scorer in NBA All-Star game history? Think about guys who have played the most, but who is the all-time leading scorer in All-Star game history?
So I think this is a recent one because I feel like this was just broken. I'm going to say if it's not Kobe, because I think Kobe was broken, I'm going to say who's the Russell Westbrook.
Should have went with your gut, man. Kobe Bryant is the all-time leading scorer in NBA All-Star game history with 290 points. RIP to the GOAT.
I'm going to call that correct.
I'll give you half credit, at least.
Nah, I'm saying full credit. I said his name.
Oh, you did, but then you backed off, so you get half credit. Which player holds the record for the most All-Star MVP awards, and how many is it? All-Star game MVP awards.
Kobe.
More recent than Kobe. I'll give you another shot.
Steph.
LeBron James. 4.
LeBron. I said Kobe because they named the trophy after him.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
The MVP trophy.
All right, this one I thought was interesting. I did not know this one, and it's kind of cool because there's a current tie-in here. So, which city hosted the first slam dunk contest in 1984, and who won it? If I give you 2 points if you can get both of them right.
And you said it's got some.
It's got the player who won it has a more recent tie-in, and the city is a Western Conference team. I'll give you some clues.
Okay, so 84. that was the year Jordan was drafted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be any of those Bulls.
Yep, it was before those guys.
Let's see. You're really throwing me for a loop. You're making me think probably too hard when I don't have a shot anyways. When you say a more recent tie-in,
you're more likely to get the city than the player.
Yeah. Western Conference cities. I'm gonna say the Lakers. Yeah.
No, but you got to be really high up there, high to get
Utah.
this one right. So close. Denver hosted the first slam dunk contest in 1984, and Larry Nance Sr. won the NBA the dunk contest. So there's your tie-in. All right, here's one for you. Former Grizzly player here. Which player won the skills challenge 3 years in a row from 2011 to 2013? He wasn't a major contributor for the Grizz, but he played for the Grizz very, very briefly.
Very briefly. Okay. Derrick Rose.
Nailed it. 3 years in a row, Derrick Rose won the skills challenge from 2011 to 2013. In 1992, what legendary NBA or legendary Olympic Dream Team player won the All-Star Game MVP? 1992.
92 won the MVP, was
Dream
on
team.
The Dream Team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't overthink this one. Oh, you overthought it. Michael Jordan, 1992, All-Star MVP game.
I was thinking, that was the end of Magic. And he was on the Dream Team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? No, he was.
He was. He was on the Dream Team. He was on that 92 team, which also that's a great documentary about that Dream Team.
Have you seen that there's a documentary coming out? There's always that legend that the backups beat the Dream Team in practice in a closed practice with no video. They're coming out with a documentary where all those backups. Yeah. It's like Chris Webber and all those guys. It's like, we beat them. We beat them. We always seem to ever beat the Dream Team.
Penny Hardaway's on there. Like it's gonna be awesome seeing those young college players who became NBA players beat the Dream Team. All right, the first rookie to ever win the slam dunk contest in 1986. You and this player share something in common.
He must be a handsome fella.
I wouldn't go that far. He is named after a vegetable.
He is named after a vegetable.
A nickname for a vegetable.
Bob the Tomato.
So close. He only had one leg, so he couldn't compete.
He didn't have legs at all, Rusty. We should quit giving me hints because I focus too much on the hints.
Y'all have something in common, and he has a nickname that he shares with a root vegetable. Spud Webb, let's go. Yeah. Y'all are both under 6 feet tall.
Yeah, that was my first thought when you said something in common. It was like it had to be Spud Webb, but I never thought that they'd let a 5'5" dude that was a rookie be in the dunk contest.
And not only that, but he was named after a tater. We got Spud Webb winning the dunk contest in 1986.
You think he would not have been the man he turned out to be if they called him Tater Tot instead of Spud.
Exactly.
Tater Tot is probably more applicable.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they probably had him pictured as a large russet potato when he was born, and he actually became a Yukon Gold and stayed relatively small.
he was one of those. What are they called? Oh man, my favorite kind of potatoes, the little ones that come in
petite ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
I can't
All right.
what they call it.
This one, you got 50-50 on this one. Which team has the most All-Star game wins in history? The Eastern Conference or the Western Conference?
Eastern.
The West has the most All-Star game wins in history with 37 victories. You think about all the talent on the Western Conference side. Though it always seems like the team
that I'm most excited to watch loses.
Yeah, because they
maybe that's just recent history.
They don't care. All right, so what is the single highest individual game score in the All-Star game history? Who scored the most points as a player? It was in 2023. It was not Russell Westbrook. It was not Russell Westbrook.
Curry.
Not Steph Curry.
Damian Lillard.
Eastern Conference. We're getting warmer. Go all the way to the Eastern Coast. Oh, the East Coast.
It's a 3-point shooter always. And so East Coast in 23.
Think about title teams.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
He did not get much Olympic run, but he was there.
Tatum.
Jason Tatum scored 52 points in the 2023 NBA All-Star game. Wayno's betting on you and just bleeding cash at this point.
Well, that's Wayno's fault. He's been listening to the show for way too long.
Yeah.
There's no more. Oh, my light went off. There's no more boring player in the world than Jason Tatum. Like I don't want to. I don't want to see him. Yeah. I don't want to hear from him. He's just not fun to watch or pay attention to.
Yep. So I guess the house is telling us that we're running out of time. I got one final question for Uncle Buck. There he is. He's back. In 2020, which player became the first to win both the All-Star Game MVP and the three-point contest in the same weekend? RIP to his ab muscle and now groin muscles as he is preparing for potential surgery.
AD.
Anthony Davis became the first player to win both the All-Star Game MVP and the three-point contest in the same weekend.
We should draft boring NBA players because this one's also pretty boring. Ever since he quit dating the Kardashian or whichever one he was, he has become less
he was
relevant.
dating Taylor Swift. I don't know. I didn't know who he
Devin Booker?
I don't know. I'm not even sure I know who Taylor Swift is, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Devin Booker is extremely boring. And as he is, like Jason Tatum, every time I hear news about him, I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed with the emotion of I don't care, to the point to it's like, okay, I think I hate him. Like maybe I do care. It's just the wrong way.
Yeah.
maybe I just don't like Jason Tatum because I hate hearing things about him.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair because there's nothing more awe-inspiring than a mid-range shooting three guard who doesn't do anything exceptionally well, but leads teams to championships. I mean, he's fine. And I have a great non-PG story about one of my buddies getting Devin Booker to miss back-to-back free throws. We were sitting about 8 rows up from the floor, calling him a certain B word as he got the ball before it got loud, and Book shook his head and missed both free throws. It was amazing. It's my favorite Devin Booker moment. But there are plenty of sleepy guys. Jason Tatum and Devin Booker would be right up at the top. Thankfully, we get a break from that for the next 8 days. But that's going to do it for our show today. We're a little bit shorter today as the Grizzlies are wrapping up the first part of their season. They got 8 days off. We will see some, as Uncle Buck said earlier, will likely go to the Caribbean. We've got 3 heading to San Francisco for All-Star Weekend. Make sure y'all tune in this weekend if you want to watch a boring basketball game. I don't know. Maybe this new format will make it better. Any thoughts about the All-Star Game format as we get closer? Are you excited? Are you still asleep on it? Like, what are your thoughts?
No, I'm absolutely more interested in seeing it. And maybe it's just the curiosity of never seeing it in this format before. But the All-Star Game itself was not appointment television for me when they weren't taking it seriously and they were playing. I would watch the starting lineup. That's cool. The pregame festivities, and then once the game's tipped off, if there wasn't a Grizzly in it, I didn't care.
Yeah.
And this at least provides a little bit more. I'm hoping it provides a little bit more drama. Once with the target score and all that, I'm hoping that teams care, start playing a little defense. When you're playing against a target score as opposed to a clock. I don't know. Like, listen, you got to shake it up because it doesn't work. You saw the Pro Bowl do this to where they just went to full-on skills challenge and dodgeball and stuff, and I think it improved the Pro Bowl. So I don't know, maybe just they're going to keep toying with it until the players buy in. If the players never buy in, then they're just going to make it something else like the NFL did.
Yeah, exactly. And it's sad when the All-Star Game is probably the biggest highlight of the weekend as the sleepy dunk contest and no Luke Kennard in the three-point contest. Like, I'm just not excited about the secondary events around All-Star Weekend.
Yeah. So I believe Luke Kennard is having his jersey retired at his high school. And
they're dedicating they're naming the court after him is what they're doing.
Is that what it is? Okay. So he probably wasn't going to accept an invitation anyways. Not that I think he was going to get one because they actually get a pretty good haul for the 3-point shooting competition. I can't remember who all's in it, but I think it's Don and Steph. They get a pretty good haul.
Decently, yeah. And I mean, that's better than the dunk contest lineup, but all of it's going to be sleepy. So with that, Have a great week, rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow discussing some NBA topics with the Memphis Grizzlies wrapping up their season, heading to All-Star Weekend. Don't forget, today, live at noon, we are back. Thank y'all for bearing with our recording on Tuesday. We will be live on Thursday. Come with your questions. We've got a big real versus counterfeit segment planned for y'all today. A lot of Grizzlies topics we're going to discuss hanging into the weekend, so come hang with us on your lunch break. Uncle Buck, thanks for hopping in with us. Yes, sir.
A 3-point contest. If you want to really send Grizzlies fans into a spiral, Cam Johnson is a participant. Naturally. Cam Johnson, Norm Powell, Dame, Buddy Hield, Hero, Darius Garland, Cunningham, and Brunson. So that's
not awful. That's not bad. That's a pretty good 3-point lineup.
For sure.
Yeah, I'd watch that. But with that, be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. Go Grizzlies. Enjoy your NBA break. And we'll see y'all at noon. Daily Grind. See y'all tomorrow.